I know.
Paint
So,
screws.
what is the difference between these two browns? So the red one is a very warm brown. The green one is a very cool brown. So again, here we go with my warms and cools, right? You look at this and say, oh my goodness, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's diarrhea brown.
It is so gross, but I use it all the time. It's perfect for aging. The red brown is wonderful for wood grain, but if you're doing sort of like a mahogany or, well, this would be for mahogany, but if you're doing more of a barnwood or anything aged, this is your guy. I use them all the time. So what I'm gonna do, I've got this really, really easy way to make wood grain look nice, and I'm gonna do a glaze. So I'm gonna take the ladle, and I'm just gonna scoop out some of this polyacrylic. It does look a little like that.
It's not bagged milk though.
Can you guys
Not
give me that
bagged.
spoon?
It's not in a bag.
Thank you. And then I'm just gonna put a tiny little bit of burnt umber into my glaze, and I'm gonna stir it up.
That's okay.
Then, you know, the handy dandy chip brush, I'm gonna go back to this guy. And I'm just gonna brush it right on over. I want a little more color than that. I need another spoon. The only time I'm a purist is into the Roscoe's. I don't wanna ever dip anything.
So if our wood's a little more antique, use the other brown.
Yeah, if you want sort of an antique look, you can use the raw umber. So you can see that it's gonna go over that yellow really just easy peasy. Lemon squeezy.
Yeah.
And you want your brush,
Oh, really?
you wanna leave some of those brush strokes to create the wood grain. Still could go a little bit darker.
Stain.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Looks like you're staining wood.
And then I'm gonna add a little more. There we go. So if you, one thing that I've done is I'll do it, you wanna do all the way, obviously I didn't base it all the way, but on your flat, you wanna do it all the way, before you sort of move to the next plank. And then one thing you can do is, since these are really inexpensive brushes, I like to just kind of go like this sometimes, and you're gonna create that really textural wood grain.
Oh, that's fun.
So it will make your brush a little bit unhappy, but for $4, you could buy it.
Now, Renee, would you make some sort of a line to indicate like
A new plank.
a new plank or?
Last cup drop. Next layer. Yeah.
Next layer would do that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're doing like a huge floor, what I tend to do is take a chalk snap line and put a charcoal in it and snap about every 1 foot. That'll just kind of keep you going straight without necessarily indicating every 4 or 6 inch board. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's gonna be your next step for the wood grain section.
That's awesome.
And so if we use the other one, it makes like more of an old wood.
Yeah, it's just gonna be, well, I don't have very much color. Yeah, somebody use the other one and just kind of see the difference. Okay, perfect.
She's going Little House on the Prairie.
The other thing is, like, if you wanted really old wood, you could do this, and then you could take some grays and dry brush over that. I'll show you what that kind of does. You'd want to let this dry, but when you just dip that into that light gray. So actually, yeah, wipe off both edges for me.
I'll end you.
And then go along the,
Long
go
ways.
like that, and that kind of separates your bristles. That's how I like to get my brush ready to do a dry brush. And then you could just do this right over, and it'll make it look kind of barnwoody.
Oh, that's cool.
So I want you to notice when I dry brush, the angle of my brush. Did anybody notice that?
Yes.
It was almost parallel to the surface. Once you start getting up on top of your bristles, what's gonna happen is it's gonna get more inconsistent, which sometimes you want that, sometimes you don't. Just know that if you wanna make really nice long runs, you wanna keep it fairly parallel. Okay?
Sweet.
Cool. Marking marking out those every 3 inches, so 3, 6, 9, 12. You guys, this is easy. This is gonna be like the easiest part of your day because you've already done lines. We're just gonna line these. We're gonna use some watered down Van Dyke Brown. And I don't even need to show you this, but I'm gonna anyways. You're gonna just go ahead and line those out.
Oh.
Every 3 inches.
Thanks, Martin.
I practiced.
You think you do this for a living or something?
Oh, I do. It's the best ever. Okay, so quite frankly, you can do your planks whatever size you want. I don't care. I like 4 inch planks. Those look really skinny, yeah. 3 does not work well on those. I'd say 4 or larger. You can't do an 18-inch board though, because that's just cheating.